Good morning, dear Bancroft families and students. I'm back with a new read aloud for you guys. This next book that I wanted to share with you is called What Does It Mean to Be Present? Yesterday, I shared a story with you guys about mind bubbles and how we can separate ourselves and notice our thought bubbles as they are all going around in our heads, and some tools that we can use to distance ourselves from those thought bubbles, and using things like our breath to bring us right back to what we can focus on when we have too many mind bubbles. Now, one of the other things that happens is sometimes when we worry about things like what's going to be coming up for us, we might feel some anxiety. Our mind might be thinking about things that are going to happen next. And sometimes when that happens, it can actually make us feel pretty uncomfortable. And one thing we can do is kind of bring ourselves back to the present moment and be what we call present, in order to feel a little bit better and connect ourselves to what's happening right now instead of getting too caught up in our mind bubbles. So this story is about that. What does it actually mean when I say be present? And this story does a really cute job of giving you guys some nice examples. And I bet you guys, after hearing this story, may have a better sense of what being present means for you and some tools you can use to help yourself be more present. These are all things we're all learning, you guys. I'm learning about this. Maybe the grown-ups in your life are learning about this too. And it's really great that we can share this information with you guys, and you guys can share it with your families. So the title of the story is What Does It Mean to Be Present? And the author is Rana, DiOrio. And the pictures, the illustrations, are by Eliza Wheeler. So let's check it out. Okay. What does it mean to be present? Does it mean showing up in class? No. Although you've heard the word present when we say who's present and who's absent, we're talking about a different meaning. So it doesn't mean showing up in class. Does it mean sharing something at show and tell? Like to present what you have? Not quite that. That's not what we're talking about either. Does it mean wrapping yourself up like a big present that you can open, a gift? No. Pretty cool though. That word has a lot of meanings, but we're still not to the one meaning that we're looking for when we say be present. Being present means listening carefully when other people are speaking. Oh, I can see a lot of good whole body listening going on. Those children are looking with their eyes at their teacher. Their ears are turned toward their teacher. Their bodies are toward their teacher. It looks like they're thinking about what the teacher is saying. In their heart, they're feeling what the story is about that the teacher is reading to them. Their hands and feet are quiet. Really great whole group, great whole body listening. They're all being very present because they're paying attention to what they're hearing right now at this moment. Let's learn more. Noticing when someone needs help and taking the time to give them help they need. So being present also means that you notice what's going on around you, like if someone might need a hand with something, and making yourself available to do something about it right then, in that moment. So I can see it looks like a classmate needed some help with something, and this boy has offered to help immediately. All right. Being present means focusing on what's happening now instead of thinking about what's coming up next. So you're right there in the moment thinking about what's happening, not what's going to happen next, like, oh, I'm going to go to recess, or it's time to have lunch, or I want to go call my grandma, but being present in the moment. Okay. What else does it mean to be present? It means appreciating what you have, even if what someone else has seems better. So, this particular picture, I see one girl about to go down the slide. She's wearing a cute little sweater with an orange on it. This girl has almost the same sweater, except instead of an orange, she's got a little butterfly. It looks like they've noticed each other's sweaters. And perhaps she's thinking, oh gosh, look, hers is different from mine. That looks kind of cool and different. but remembering to appreciate what they already have and not so much wanting what somebody else has that might appear to be better than what you have. So being thankful for the fact that, let's say, she has a sweater, and yes, that butterfly is beautiful, good for her. She has a sweater, and that orange is beautiful, good for her. We can appreciate what we have in this moment. Being present can also be about waiting patiently for your turn. So instead of getting upset and being worried about the fact that it might be taking a while or you might not get a turn, just staying patient and waiting for your turn in that moment. That's another way that we can be present. So I bet you guys are hearing some ways that you have been present as well in the past, huh? Times you've waited and taken your turn, times when you were a great listener, times when you were helping someone as soon as they needed it. It's not that hard to do when we actually think about it, huh? It can also be treating each new experience as an opportunity and understanding that making mistakes is how we learn and grow. So it looks like they were playing together. They set off a rocket ship and it went off and it was terribly a fun flight, but it landed and it crashed. So it's a mistake, but you can learn from it. And forgive yourself when you make the mistake and move on. It can mean being grateful for your family and friends and telling them so. So letting your family know that you appreciate them, letting them know that you care, that you're thankful for them. It can mean savoring each bite of your delicious food. So to savor, it means to really pay attention to what it tastes like in your mouth, what the food might feel like in your mouth. Is it hot? Is it spicy? Is it cool? Is it sweet? Is it sour? And just taking the time while you're eating to just notice those things and pay attention in the moment. It's kind of fun to do. It can be cuddling with your puppy and enjoying how soft and wriggly he feels. So he's really just in the moment noticing what his dog's fur feels like, how much he's moving. He's paying attention to what is happening right then and there. That's being present. Well, let's see here. It can be relishing the warmth of the sun and the sound of the rain. So appreciating everything, being in the sunshine, and when it rains, appreciating that rain just the same. Any change, still just embracing it and being okay with it. It can be feeling the sand between your toes or watching the rolling waves or smelling the briny seaweed. Those are all the things this child is paying attention to. Excuse me. Maybe the scratchiness of the sand on his feet, or the cool of the water, or the salty smell of the ocean, paying attention to his senses. Listening to the cawing seagulls and tasting the ocean's salty spray. So gosh, this is about really paying attention to their senses in the moment. So thinking about how things feel around them, what kind of sounds they hear, if they taste anything, if they can smell anything, and definitely paying attention to the things that they see as well as the sounds that they hear. Those are all tools we can use to help us be present. Allowing the rhythm of your breath in and out. In and out. To make you feel peaceful. Closing your eyes and being still enough to hear your inner voice. So sometimes our minds have a lot of those thought bubbles, don't they? And it takes a while for our minds to get quiet. Sometimes just laying there and focusing on the things that you might be hearing or what something might feel beneath you, like the grass if you're outside or your comforter if you're laying on your bed. Just noticing things like that and focusing in on that moment. These guys are all being present. I bet you've done this before and now you know that you can do it again. in order to be more present. Being present means living in the moment. It means realizing that yesterday is history. It's gone. Tomorrow is a mystery. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. And today, this moment, is a gift. That's why we call it the present. I like that a lot. So tell your friends what it means to be present and spread the word. When we're all present, life can be much richer, fuller, and happier. I have to agree, you guys. So next time, if you guys are feeling worried about something that's going to happen, but it hasn't happened yet, or maybe you're having some feelings about something that already happened, maybe the day before, maybe the week before, and those thought bubbles are what's going on in your mind, and you're getting a lot of them, and you're ready to change that. You can say, it doesn't feel good, I want to do something different. Something you can do to be more present is to just focus on what's going on right now. And one of the ways we do that is really turning on our senses. So we can stop and think about, okay, I don't want my mind to be worried about what's coming up tomorrow or what's going to happen next. I'm feeling a little worried, so I want to change that. Something you can do is think about your senses. So you can think about, what can I see around me right now? Maybe you can name 5 things you can see. So for me, for example, I see the blue paint on the walls, I see the window, I see the light, I see my phone, I see my cup, and did I mention 4 or 5? I see the book. I put my attention into focusing right now on what I can see. Now, maybe I can think about 4 things that I can feel with my hands. So I might feel the smoothness of this book. I might feel the bumpy texture on the wall behind me. Maybe I can feel the texture of my sweater and notice that. Maybe I can feel the bumpiness of my bracelet and focus on that sensation. So I focus on what I felt through my sense of touch. And maybe I can think about what I hear. So maybe I'll focus and see if I can think about 3 things that my ears hear right now. I hear the sound of cars outside. I have my diffuser in the room so I can hear the water in there. And I think I hear a child walking outside. We have a lot of neighbors that are outside walking down our street, so sometimes I hear the sound of children. So I just stopped to notice those things. You might even take your attention away and think about, what if I just taste some things and I focus on what something tastes like? So for me, like, I could have a sip of my tea. It's cold now. So I noticed it was kind of cold. And let's see, I have a bite of a cake. My dad made some cake, you guys. I'm going to take a bite of that. I can taste the nuts in there and the sugar. It tastes sweet. It's a little hard because I left it outside for a while, sitting out without covering my piece of cake. So, I put my attention on that, and I really tried to savor and think about how something tasted. This is a really fun thing you guys can do at home too with your families. Maybe you guys can have your family pick a few different things, like a tiny bite of it. And what you can do to be more present is you could even turn off your other senses, like close your eyes and don't think so much about what you hear, but you could take a bite of something, not knowing what it is, take a little bite, and then just stop and notice what it tastes like. Like if it was a piece of chocolate, it would taste very different in your mouth. The texture would be different than, let's say, if mom or dad gave you a little tangerine or a piece of an orange. That might be kind of more juicy and make your mouth water a bit. If you had a bite of a banana, let's say, it would be kind of soft and smushy. have a different texture. So you can notice that. So there's lots of fun little things that you can do at home to bring your attention to right here, right now. And that's something I do. I try to do a lot, and I'm actually working on teaching my mom how to do it. So maybe you and the grown-ups in your life who love you very much can also talk about some of these things and help each other. When things get kind of crazy or too much, or you're feeling overwhelmed, just focus on what's going on right here, right now. If you look around and the room needs to be cleaned up, pick up a few things. If you want to go take a bite of something so you can focus on what something tastes like in your mouth and bring your attention to this, a good idea to start bringing yourself right back here to this moment to be present. So I hope some of those ideas help you guys, and this is a really fun topic. We're going to talk more and more about these things, and how we can find these moments of being present and calm and at peace. Regardless of what's going on around us or out there in the world, we should learn how to do these things because they really help us feel better. So I hope you guys will join me on that journey. I'll keep sharing stories and tips with you, and we can all learn together. All right. Have a great day, you guys, and I will talk to you soon.